Barry's. That's the original cardio and strength interval workout. To explain where we are now, we welcome the Barry CEO. He's Joey Gonzalez. So, Joey, thanks so much for joining us. How have you come back from the pandemic? Where are you now in your business?
Thank you for having me. First of all, David, appreciate it. Happy to report that finally, as of Q1 of this year, we are 99% back to pre-COVID attendance. We do have some exceptions. We have trade areas within certain cities that are lagging in recovery as a result from work from home. A lot of those are CBD districts, areas that you would imagine might be impacted from work from home. And then also, just greater regions or cities that have been negatively impacted by migration patterns throughout the pandemic.
So tell us about the work from home versus return to office. How is that affecting you? Does it affect, for example, when people come to your facilities, what days of the week they do, or is it changing even where you're locating your facilities?
A great question. Not necessarily where we choose to locate, because luckily for us, Barry's has always looked for residentially dense neighborhoods. We have very minimal CBD districts that we entered, so there are only about 3 of them across the U.S. In terms of how it's changed sort of the way that our day works in terms of peak and off peak, it's been really interesting. We've noticed clients are starting their days a little bit later, so our 7 a.m.-ish classes are busier than the 6 a.m.-ish, as it used to be vice versa. We've also noticed that a lot of our lunchtime classes are much busier than they used to be. So in some regards, it's actually been really advantageous. We've been able to take a lot of the demand and spread it through the day.
I know you're expanding into new locations. Is that less expensive given some of the stress on commercial real estate right now? I mean, first of all, do you franchise these operations or do you actually lease the facilities yourself?
So we're completely corporately owned and operated throughout the U.S. We do a combination of joint ventures and franchise globally. So it's a good mix of corporately owned, franchised, and joint venture. In terms of opportunities that have been presented to us from a commercial real estate standpoint, I would say that was true during the worst of the pandemic. But now that we are out of it and fitness is really on fire again, we haven't necessarily seen too many great deals.
How do you pick your spots where you want to move into? You said it's, I think you said residentially dense.
Yeah, we do. It's a little bit of art and a little bit of magic. We scrape, cities to see what types of consumers live there. We know who our demographic and psychographic clients are. We obviously look for our people, and we're very data informed. And on the other end, we really listen to our clients. We have a hyper-engaged community, global community, and I can't tell you how many inbound requests we have on a daily basis to bring a Barry's to different sort of neighborhoods and cities across the U.S. and elsewhere.
I'm glad you raised the question of demographics as well as psychographics, but I'm of a certain age. I work out probably 4 times a week or so. I'm not sure having watched your videos, I'd run right into one. Do you go for basically a younger clientele?
We have that reputation. Barry's has always been an intimidating brand. The great thing is we've really evolved over the past decade. We've ensured that every class you take has something for everyone. And we give, modifications, we give workouts and run speeds for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. And in addition to that, as we continue to expand the brand, we've also extended the brand into other modalities. So for example, we have a 50-minute weightlifting class. We have a new in New York City, a 50-minute ride class where you're spending half the class doing your cardio on a bike and half your class doing your strength training on the floor. So we've really sort of broadened who our audience is and continued to deliver on our vision statement, which is to transform lives worldwide.
So as you look to growth, do you look principally to increasing, I'll call it same store growth, or is it new locations?
Oh, it's a combination. We look at both metrics. So we look at our overall attendance and revenue, and we look at same store attendance and revenue.
How high is the sky here? Are you planning on going public, for example, with Barry's?
Everyone asks. We have, no short-term plans to go public. I've actually really enjoyed the private equity experience and relationship that I've had with North Castle Partners. They'll probably be looking to exit fairly soon, and I'm hoping we find another great private equity firm to work with.
Well, as you think about it, whether it's public or private, how do you define the market? I mean, are you looking to gain market share from other fitness organizations? Are you trying to attract people into it for the first time? How high can this go?
It really depends. I think to a certain extent, sure, all fitness concepts are fighting for market share. On a day that you do yoga, you might not be choosing to do berries, right? So in that sense, I understand that. But also, I think we're all sort of promoting the same thing, which is like move your body, right? Exercise, do what you can. Berries continues, as I mentioned earlier, to extend into different modalities so that the brand can connect with people throughout the week in different ways. And in terms of, what our growth goals are, I would say that we would get to 100 studios within the US within the next 3 to 5 years. So we would double our footprint here domestically. And in terms of global growth, because it is the franchise model, the sky's the limit there.